Hey, beautiful people. I am 50 this year, and at the start of this year, I had made this plan to create this amazing channel sharing information about what I've learned over the last maybe 30 years. So, since I was 20 until now, in the hopes that it would help people. And it's June, and you know what? I have not created a single video. So, I thought I am going to start today, and it might be a bit clunky, it might be a bit clattery, and there might be background noise, and there might be cats coming in to say hello because I live in a house with cats. I have one sitting right next to me, which is why I'm patting her to keep her off me. So hopefully hopefully my journey is not boring. I don't think it's boring. I did a screen capture today. This is a screen capture. I did a screen capture all there, there, there. I did a screen capture today of how many hours I spent on my phone, and I was mortified. It was 60 hours a week. There's only 144 hours in a week, I believe. Maybe. I think that's right. 144 hours in a week, which means I'm spending close to 60% of my week on the phone, which is nuts. And then I wonder why I am not getting the gardening done. I am not getting all my food needs met. I'm not cooking as often and as well as I could be. I am not cleaning the house as often as I could be. I am not outside living my life. For some reason, I am stuck at home all the time. Well, this is why. Because I am sitting on my phone for 60 hours a week and it is nuts. So, my first video is to reduce my screen time, which is hilarious because I am going to be getting on a screen to record this video, but at least it's not on my phone, it's on my computer. And I feel like I have a little bit more control on my computer. But I wanted to give you the top four things, maybe four, maybe five things that I am going to be doing to help reduce my screen time because it has been a thing for me. I have been watching TV ever since I was a baby. My nanny, when I had a nanny, not nanny like you have now, fancy nanny, this was just like a babysitter who used to take me while my mum was at work, would sit me in front of TV, especially after my sister went to school. So, from about the age of 3, I got sat in front of TV for most of the day to keep me occupied. So, from 3 years old until 50, TV has been for my form of entertainment and distraction and avoidance and quietening me down. That is what I was taught to use, so that's what I use. And now I realize that that is why my life is the way it is, and I am where I am in the world because screen time is my addiction. It's a really, really hard one for me to break, and I have tried many times, many, many, many times. So I thought I am going to give it another crack. I am going to share it on YouTube. So maybe my YouTube peeps can keep me on track. Maybe the idea of failing in front of other people, if anyone else watches this, will help me stay on track. That is my hope. So, the top four things I'm going to do is number one, turn my phone on silent. And that means there are no notifications, there are no phone calls coming through, there's no messages. It means that I'm not constantly getting that ping, 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 ping. That's the first thing, turn the phone on silent. Number two is remove all the apps. Every single app on my phone that is not essential to the phone is gone. Even things like Google, I have disabled. Chrome, I've disabled. Facebook, I can remove. So I've removed that. Remove Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Reddit, all of those social media apps, YouTube, they're all off my phone. I can access all of those through Chrome. I can access everything through Chrome, but I've disabled Chrome as well. So that means that if I want to go and watch something on YouTube, I have to go to Chrome and I have to log into YouTube because I always log out of my account. And then I have to do it that way. If I want to go to Facebook on my phone, I have to enable Chrome. I have to log into Facebook if I can remember my password because I've already been locked out of 3 Facebook accounts because I can't remember my password. So for me, I hope and I think that this is a solution. So the first one, what was the first one? The first one was turn off my ringtone. Second one, turn off all the notifications for everything, but also remove all the apps. So I guess that's 2 and 3. Remove all the apps and turn off all the notifications for everything, for messages, for everything. So the only time you receive messages or phone calls is when you actively consciously pick up your phone, and this is easy for me to do. I don't have a barrel load of friends that are calling me asking me to go out. I don't have the external validation and have lots of people in my life. I don't have a job right now, which sounds like heaven, but it can be, but it's not. So I'm not working right now. I'm not receiving a massive influx. My life doesn't revolve around my phone. So this is a lot easier for me to do than it might be for someone else. So if you're someone that needs your ringtone on, maybe you can modify it and go, okay, I can't turn my ringtone off because my life is essential to my phone, but can you remove the apps? Can you remove Facebook? Facebook is not essential. Instagram's not essential. Reddit's not essential unless you run your business off it. But then if you do run your business off it, can you remove the apps and then move on to your computer? So then that way you're not spending all your time on your phone, on your apps. If you do all your recording of your videos on your phone, that's kind of different again, because then you do need YouTube to upload. I do all of mine from my computer. So it makes it a lot easier for me. I can have a microphone, I can have my webcam, I can have my computer on and not be near my phone. You kind of got to use this in a way that's going to help you. How is it going to work for you? And the fourth thing I was going to do was to turn on grayscale, because then when I pick up the phone, I'm not getting that zoom, zoom, zoom of color going into my very dopamine addicted brain. So then there's turn on the grayscale. And then there was going to be number 5, which is kind of more a willpower thing, which is not picking up my phone until after I've eaten breakfast. So for me, when I wake up, not that I do pick up my phone because I have my daughter, so it's a lot easier for me to not pick up my phone. But if you do not have a kid as a distraction that keeps you entertained for a couple of hours in the morning, if you don't have that, then maybe this is more a willpower thing. Maybe instead of having a kid, maybe you could get up and go for a walk, or get up and make a cup of tea, or make a cup of coffee and have breakfast, or get up and do a workout. Do something when you wake up in the morning, as opposed to rolling over and picking up your phone. Now, some of these things, for me, because it's such a strong addiction, is that it is going to have to be a moment by moment choice. So when I wake up in the morning, I still consciously make the choice not to pick up my phone, and I still consciously make the choice to talk to my daughter instead. I mean, that for me is a given. It's not a hard decision to make. But then when she gets up and she goes outside to feed the chickens, then all of a sudden I'm left alone, and I'm left alone with me, and I'm left alone with a part of me that I don't like very much, and feelings that I don't want to feel, and thoughts that I do not want to have. And so my pattern, instead of sitting and listening to these thoughts and feeling these feelings, is to distract, pick up my phone and distract. It's the easiest thing. It's what I'm trained to do. Distract and avoid, distract and avoid, and silence, silence. Be silent, be silent, be silent. Sit in front of the phone. So there are times I notice that it has to be a decision that I am making in the moment. And I am noticing when I'm needing to make those decisions, and I'm starting to become really, really clear of when those triggers are activated. So one is definitely when my daughter goes out to do the chickens. Another one is when I'm feeding the cats and the dogs. I usually listen to something on my phone when I'm feeding them. That's a big moment for me to distract myself. Another one is usually around the 3 to 4:30, 5 o'clock mark is a really big distractor, because that was a really hard time for me growing up. My sister and I used to fight all the time, and I used to come home and the TV was on and she was watching what she wanted to watch. So I had to sit and watch what she wanted to watch, because she was already there and she already had control of the TV. And because I'd been raised to sit in front of a TV instead of doing something else, I would just sit and watch something used to get home, I think about 20 past 3. And then my mum would get home about 4:30. So that time is a real anchor for me to sit in front of a screen. Now, I don't have a TV, so I haven't had a TV since I was, well, maybe, I think I'm sort of in my 20s, and then 30s I got one, and then I got rid of one, and yeah, on and off. But generally, I haven't had one for over 10 years now. But I have had my phone, and I have had YouTube. And so for me, it is making that conscious decision and also being aware that that 3 o'clock time frame is a trigger for me to sit down. So it's making that choice to sit. And what I've just started doing, which might work for you as well, is I've started sitting and closing my eyes and breathing and feeling the feeling. It's really weird for me to feel my feelings. I do not do it very well. I do not like doing it. I am a head mover. I really live in my head a lot. And so sitting and feeling my feelings is really awkward and uncomfortable. And it does not come naturally to me. So at that 3 o'clock time zone, I'm really trying to sit. And sorry, I'm distracted because I've got a little dog and she's going tick, 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 on the ground. She's shuffling along the ground, walking towards the door. I don't know if she needs to go outside or not. She might. She's looking at me. No, she's turning around and going back to bed. She's going, no, I'm going back to bed. She's 16. She's old. So, sorry, detour. Welcome to my brain. I can only laugh at myself. And I do not want to edit these parts out because so many videos I watch are so perfect and they have zero errors and they're so perfect. The information is there and I watch them and I feel so intimidated by creating a video because I think that's not normal for me. I cannot sit and look at a phone or look at a screen or look at whatever this thing is, webcam, and speak in some perfect articulated way. It's not natural for me. And I also do not like the idea of editing everything I do so it is perfect because I'm not perfect. And I want to live in, I'm kind of deviating. Welcome to my world. I'm deviating of a new path. So I want to live in a world where I am moving in a space of truth and honesty and authenticity. And if I take out these parts that are obviously me, my brain does go on tangents. That's a fact. I do get distracted. That's a fact. I do have animals that are going to interrupt. I do laugh at myself when I make mistakes because I have to laugh at myself. And I don't want people to think that I am this perfect human being that never says and never says but and never says and never has pauses and never has any of these moments or never has any background noise. I have cats, plural cats, and dogs. We've got 4 dogs. And I have a kid, and we have chickens and roosters and guinea fowls. There's noise here, even though we live out on land. There's noise. It's just usually more localized. So there is going to be noise, and I cannot avoid it. So that's my little rant. Coming back to my dopamine addiction and my screen addiction, I really want to say try, but then I watched I can't remember what his name was. I wrote it down in a book and I could not find the book before I got here. I can't remember what his name is. Scott Elias, I think it is. He's a guy who's doing YouTube videos. And he shared, I think it was him. It was him. He shared that when you are trying to do something, you're not actually really trying, you're more considering. You're more considering whether you're going to do it. And it hit me. I only heard this last week and it hit me so hard where I sat and I thought, oh my gosh, he's right. I when I sit down and I have an idea, let's say the gardening, I want to plant all our fruit trees, and I have this idea. I have been considering planting the fruit trees that I have in pots for the last 12 months since we moved into this place. And I keep thinking about it, and I keep saying, I'm trying to plant the pots. I'm trying to find time. I'm trying to find the motivation. I'm trying to find the moment when the stars and the sunshine and the rainbows and the moon and this everything is all in alignment so I can take action to plant these trees. But it hasn't come, and it's been 12 months. And what I realized from listening to his video is that most of the things that I want to do, and I keep saying I'm trying to do them, I'm trying to get healthy, I'm trying to get off my phone, I'm trying to create a YouTube channel, I'm trying to walk the dogs. I'm not trying. Trying indicates you're taking an action and you're actually doing something to try and make it work. But I'm not doing that. And what he said is, you're not trying, you're considering. And it really hit me hard. And I went, wow, okay, maybe I'm not actually trying. Maybe I'm sitting in my head and it's rattling around in my brain, and I'm considering whether I'm going to actually take action to do these things or not. And then, me being me, I have this, well, you're going to fail anyway, so why bother trying? A voice that comes in and goes, what? You're not going to plant those trees. You're going to go out there. You're going to look at the trees. You're going to look at the dirt. You're going to look at the amount of work that has to go into it, and you're going to stop because you cannot finish anything that you start. You are a failure and you can't achieve. That's just your story. That's just who you are. And that's what my brain does. And so I do. I listen to it and I stop and I turn around and I walk back inside. And do you know what I do? I pick up my phone and I watch something because I feel like crap. And I don't want to feel like crap. So I keep distracting myself so I don't feel like crap through my phone. And this is a cycle, this is a pattern for me. I have an idea of taking an action. I consider all the different steps I need to take that action. Then my brain jumps in and goes, you're a loser. You can't do that. You're going to fail. Why would you bother trying? Don't bother trying because you can't achieve anything. And then I pick up my phone and go, dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. See, look, I feel better about myself already. Oh my God, this is the world I live in. It is nuts. It is nuts. It is nuts that this is the deeply embedded program of my world. And it has me on the phone for over 60 hours a week. It's bonkers that that's how much time I spend on the phone. So I've gone on a lot of different tangents. I'm sorry. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to share was really the five, which I did, the five things. So one was, let's see if I can remember them to remind myself. One was turning off the ringtone, turning off the notifications, disabling and uninstalling as many unessential apps as I can possible. Four was grayscale, I want to say. And five was, that's what took me on this tangent, five was the decision making, realizing that some of this I'm actually going to have to actively decide not to pick up my phone and instead feel the feeling. This is where the tangent went off. I was wondering why did I go off on a tangent? This is why I went off on a tangent, because I didn't want to feel the feelings that I was feeling. So off we go on an adventure, and here we are. That is my brain. That is how my brain functions in this, oh my God, insane world right now. And I say so a lot when my brain does not want the silence, but when I want a moment to think about how do I end these videos? Do I say, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, please subscribe and share? But I don't like that sort of stuff. So I find it really awkward. I feel really awkward. I feel like a, I don't know, a nut job saying things like that. But then what do? Do I say bye for now? See you next time. Thanks for being here. It doesn't seem real. I haven't worked out what my authentic sign off to my videos are yet. Maybe this is my authentic sign off, is just being the nut job that I am. And then laughing at myself for being a nut job. I think that's it. I'm going to get off. Thanks for watching. Bye.